Back again with another quick video. Um, Today I want to talk about Republicans uh throwing bait out for slow guppies like Jasmine Crockett to gnaw at. This is Democrat bait, just like DEI, just like that situation and that situation. This is Democrat bait that black people should not be worried about. It has absolutely nothing to do with us. And all it's doing is keeping our black bloggers, our black athletes, our black anything having to do with black people, black entertainers and influencers and our black even our black Congress people and congressmen and congresswomen is keeping them talking about something stupid. It keeps us talking about something stupid. Trump has a platinum plan. I have yet to see any real black bloggers or black congressmen and women or black anybody in the politics realm, politics world talk about the platinum plan getting black Americans the money for working for 400 years for free. Then getting beat down for another 100 because the 1900s to 1960s we were still getting beat down. We still get beat down today. Like I'm talking about killed, just getting beat for no reason. So I seen this one dude, this one older guy. He said it, Pharaoh. He was like, "Bro, how was we gonna ask for reparations in the 60s, in the 70s, in the 80s, in the 90s? We were literally getting beat down by police. So you want us to ask for reparations while we getting our ass beat? Black people don't even understand. We just started our life 20 years ago. Black people just started their life. You got the 60s, you got the 70s, you got the 80s, you got the 90s. Here we are now, 2000s, 2010s, 2020s. We just started, bro. What don't y'all understand? They got y'all in a delusion right now. They got y'all in a real stronghold delusion. Black people want to feel like Americans, but they never paid you for your family's work. That has something to do with your livelihood right now. That's like we don't pay you at all for the rest of your life. That's going to affect your kids, right? If I don't get paid and I keep working for the rest of my life and I live a long ass life, and my kids don't get any benefit from that, if I just work for free for the rest of my life right now, right? But we don't have people that think with actual common sense in America because common sense is damn near illegal to have in America. Especially as a black man, we all live in a delusion. Black people, we always take the back seat. We always trying to turn the other cheek. Like Dr. Martin Luther King said, he led his people into a burning building, fiending to be next to our oppressor. If we could just be next to them, and maybe we could just, no, maybe we could just get our money for working for free, having billions of dollars be accumulated and us not seeing any of it. Now they make so much money, they could give us trinkets and it won't even matter. Like I remember working at this one call center firm that I used to work at, and they used to tell us, oh, we just made $1 million today. While we made what, $60? They just made millions while we made $60 in 8 hours. We just made $80, $90 in 8 hours. Me, I had a little bit of commission because I had the most calls, the best handle time, and I sold the most stuff. So I had the best commission, so I probably made like 90, 100. But this is what's happening now today that y'all don't understand. Y'all can't even wrap your mind around. Trump bringing back segregation, banning it, or whatever, it doesn't matter because white people still are racist. There are still very much white people walking around as racist today. I was just watching my guy Josh live. He's like, oh yeah, it's this one restaurant. Me and my mom, they know they don't like black people, so I just don't go in there. It's situations like that that still happen today. I didn't see black people get turned away from going into certain bars and stuff like that because they got jeans on, and then they let some white people in that got jeans on. If that's happening in my lifetime, I know that we're not as far as separated from what was from what today is. We aren't separated. This is the same thing that's been happening in 1960. Is the same thing that's happening today. Only difference is we got phones and like iPhones and shit. Like, bro, I'm trying to tell y'all, black people, black Americans, not y'all Caribbeans and Africans that got over here after slavery. I'm talking about black Americans, descendants of slavery. We have one job. It's to get our great-grands their reparations who have passed on. We don't have no other job. We don't have to boycott Target and do all this other dumb shit. It does not matter. Us boycotting and saying, oh, they don't want our black dollars, we'll just go somewhere else. What are you talking about? You going somewhere else, it doesn't fucking matter. You spending your black little ass dollars, it doesn't matter. You getting reparations and real life tangibles for your family and your lineage, that does matter. So then we could be able to build our own hospitals, our own banks, our own schools. They don't want to be next to us. We don't have to be next to them. They do owe us. Slavery in America is a hate crime. That's not considered a hate crime in the world. Y'all know that, right? The United Nations doesn't consider slavery in America a hate crime. They don't consider that a genocide. Y'all know that, right? Or do y'all not just care? Y'all, some of y'all just don't care. Some of y'all just don't care. I don't care. Slavery isn't considered a hate crime, isn't considered a genocide. Man, I don't care. I could care less. Because I got some money. If we don't get our reparations now, our next generations, they're not gonna care. They're not even gonna know what you're talking about. Right now they don't even know what you're talking about. Because school, believe it or not, the school system is making our people dumber. Do you understand that? If I lie to you, your mom, her mom, and her mom, what the fuck? You're never gonna learn the truth. That's like a game of telephone. By the time it get back to me, it's gonna be some mumbo jumbo that I didn't even say. Because everybody has their own interpretation of this shit. Some black people think that this shit don't even matter. Nigga, what are you talking about? That's not a long time. 60s, 70s, 80s, we're already here. That was only 30 years. We already here. You aren't, nigga, your history, our history is slavery. Working for free. We just started getting paid money, real life money. What are you talking about? 16 an hour? 17 hours? White people been getting paid that. White people been getting paid hundreds of dollars an hour and shit. We just now figuring out how to do this shit. That's why we always late to the party when it comes to sports betting and this and that and the third. We late to the party. Stocks, this, that, and the third. Black people just now getting into that stuff. You want to know why? Because we were literally just slaves for hundreds of years. 400 years trumps the last, 100 years that we've been free? Free? Them 400 years, you know that, right? 400 is a bigger number than 100. Some of y'all don't understand that because you've literally been in an American school trying to be a fucking fake ass. What is an American? What is that? That's not even fucking real. And people then lost their life over this name. This fake dream of being an American. That's why they promote Martin Luther King like that. It makes black people feel like they can share the American dream. No, we can make the white man be accountable for holding our forefathers as slaves and cattle. So instead of talking about reparations and us getting our money for us working for free for hundreds of years, hundreds, which, like I just said, trumps the little 100 that we've been free. And it's not even a real strong 100. We was getting our ass beat through the 60s and everything. 70s, 80s, and I could literally name mad prominent black people that was in the news that got police brutality, all types of stuff, KKK. I just seen somebody ask why the KKK didn't have a RICO open up against them. And of course, somebody answered the cliche, why would they open up a RICO against themselves? We have to understand that we cannot police the police. We have to go other places. If Trump isn't going to bring his platinum plan that he came up with Ice Cube to fruition, we have to go to other places and try to get help. But we really can't. You want to know why? Because these white people are Europeans. So they run a portion of the United Nations. The Africans, they don't like us. Nobody likes us. You want to know why? Because it's easy not to like black people, black Americans. It's easy to kick the person that's already down and step over them like a doormat. That's the easy thing to do. So black people got to sit here and ponder like, man, what are we going to do? Are we going to clean up our communities and clean up the shit? It don't got nothing to do with that. I don't care if a bitch is shaking her ass or she's in Congress. It doesn't matter. You have to give black people their reparations. I don't care if a nigga's on the corner doing dope or he's in the NBA dunking in basketball. You have to give black people their reparations. I don't care if she's Oprah on the screen or she's a hoe on the streets. You have to give black people their reparations. I know it sounds crazy. I know it sounds, man, how are we going to do it? It doesn't matter because they didn't think like that when they were enslaving black people and ruining generations after generations. If you work for your whole life, you that's watching this live or on the replay. If you work your whole life for free, what are you going to tell your children? You just had children, right? What are you going to tell your children when they look up to you like, well, do we have any type of tangibles? Do we have any type of homes that we could, like, do we have property? Do we have land? You don't have anything. You want to know why? Because you are working for free. So you know why is black people walking around today still paying these people, don't have anything? Because we done been through slavery, civil rights era, systemic racism. We're still in systemic racism because black people still paying rent, don't got no type of tangibles. We don't have anything. What don't y'all get? Why y'all still talking about segregate? Trump say he gonna bring back that? All right, cool. We don't want to be next to y'all anyways. Can we get our money? Can we consider what y'all did a hate crime? Can we consider what y'all did genocide? No, you can't. You don't even understand the type of racism that we are. If you can't understand this as a black person, you slow. They depend on you being a Democrat. They depend on you being slow. So they don't have to ever pay the money. Just blame the black people that shake their ass and kill each other. I don't care about them. You got people like that in your community too. You just don't talk about it, white man. Y'all people killed more of our people than any of our people ever could. White people killed more black people than black people ever could kill black people. But they're gonna make they're gonna make it seem like we just killing each other. We just out here just fucking our community. Oh, it's our fault. No, it's your fault. You slaved some people for 4. All right, let's go take white people into slavery for 400 years so they can see how it feels. See how crazy that sounds? If y'all really knew how crazy Americans think, really look in some of these chats and chat rooms and really watch these Americans and really see how they think. They think crazy. It's literally Americans walking around talking about, yeah, man, Hitler is a bad guy. Bro, you literally live in a country where they were slaving people for all right, 8 years, the Jews got it, and that's kind of generous. 8 years, the Jews got it and were exterminated and genocide, all of that, had the genocide against them, all of that. Black people had that for times that by 100. Times that by 50. Black people had that coming at them every single day. So I'm not trying to hear it, bro. This has affected our people. Yes. I just told you to do the math yourself. You work for 60 years, 70 years, a human span life and never get paid. And your children, now you have 3 children, right? And they're looking at you like, all right, do we have any tangibles? Do we have any land? Do we have any houses? No, I'm just going to go ahead and die. We was a slave all my life, and you're going to be a slave too. That's what black people had to tell their families in America. But you, man, I'm mad. I ain't no slave. Y'all niggas lost, bro. You definitely is a slave. If I never paid you and your family for working for 400 years, I just started paying y'all 100 years ago. 100 years. Just past 100 years. I just started paying you. So you feel like you different from your ancestors. Really not your ancestors, really your great grandparents, your great grands. So you feel so different from them. So now you feel like, man, they don't gotta give us no money because it's different now. That was so long ago. No, it wasn't. You're literally a retard. You're literally stupid. Literally. I don't care right now, bro. I don't care. I really don't care right now, bro. I'm tired of black people being degenerates, bro. No, the black people shouldn't be talking about nothing else. But you know what we talking about? Man, Trump, he's giving out segregations. He's gonna put up whites only again. Man, don't shop there. What are you talking about? We're past that. We're past marching in the street looking stupid. Like, we're past that. We did all of that and never got our reparations. I never did anything for us. It didn't do shit for us. So now where are we at now? Nowhere. We never got our money. We never got shit. And we still pulling ourselves up by our bootstraps, still paying these people. So now they're capitalizing off of the shit. They're capitalizing off of you never getting reparations. And you can't even see that because you're dumb. You're dumb. If you can't see how white people are capitalizing off of you never getting your reparations, you're an idiot. Accept that. Accept it. Accept that I'm an idiot. I don't understand how white people are capitalizing off of never giving me reparations. You should be furious as a black person that your great grands never got the reparations immediately after working slavery. They just said, man, we done keeping y'all as slaves. Y'all get out of here. Y'all scatter. And then when we catch y'all trying to better yourself and have y'all own Black Wall Street and all this other shit, we gonna kill y'all and we gonna terrorize y'all. We gonna tear it all down. We're gonna have the KKK. It's never gonna get charged for RICO. It's never gonna get charged as a hate group. This is never gonna be charged as genocide. This is never gonna be charged as a hate crime. We got a whole United Nations. They don't even acknowledge black people. Black people aren't acknowledged. You're not acknowledged as a black person. Do you think you're acknowledged as a black person? You're not acknowledged as a black person. If you were, the United Nations would be trying to crack down on America for having the hate crime of the slavery, transatlantic slave trade. They be trying to crack down on everything, make sure black people get their reparations. They literally in other countries worried about, can the fake Jews get reparations? Can these people get They're talking about everybody else except black people. You want to know why? Because it's easy to kick us and step on us because we're already down. Our own people don't want to get up. We sit up here looking around like, man, they got whites only signs. I can't shop at Target. Stupid shit after stupid shit after stupid shit. Just stupid shit. We're supposed to be worried about getting our reparations. The platinum plan, whatever you want to call it, getting paid. I'm start calling it getting paid for working for free for 400 years. That's what they recorded. They say, oh, it's 400. It's really longer than that. Because, you know, they lie about everything. So it's nothing to these white people to lie about a fucking timeline. How long ago was that? Oh, 10 years. They were slaves for 10 years. I don't know. It was so long ago. I don't know. Like Mitch McConnell, it was so long ago, I don't know. But you celebrate July 4th, 1776 as an American. You can't, how is that so long ago? You can't even call yourself American. That's like saying you're not an American because that was so long ago. You see how dumb these people think? This is what you gotta deal with as a black man, having actual common fucking sense. Walking around these motherfuckers every day, they just in this bitch walking around. They don't know what the fuck happened. They don't care. They don't give a fuck. Nobody gives a fuck about black people, but we supposed to give a fuck about everybody else. It's some bullshit. Then the nigga gonna cop and Josh Tat talk about some, oh, don't let, what he tried to say? He basically tried to tell me, he basically gonna try to tell me, I got materialistic ways that I'm trying to use, getting reparations for my materialistic ways. Guess what? I don't give a fuck. This is for my great grands. My great grands need to get their just due. This don't got nothing to do with me. My great grands. That's for my great grands. Because this is what they would have wanted. Because this is what I would have wanted. So I know my great grandparents would have wanted this. Because I wouldn't have wanted to be a slave and then look to my kids and be like, man, we ain't got shit. I ain't got shit. I ain't. That's how black people, that's how they left black Americans. We still like that today because we walking around, we don't want our reparations. You got to be a stupid dummy to be walking around and don't want your reparations. Talking about something that was too long ago. You know how many weak, effeminate black men walking around saying shit like that today? I'm talking about weak. Nigga, you're dumb. You're a dummy. You're weak. You walk around and you don't talk about reparations. Oh, I got $1 million. I don't care. No, you're a dummy. You're nothing. You don't have no purpose. That's black people's purpose right now in life. They be talking about reparations. And they don't do it. They just walk around this bitch acting like you're not even a person. You never got paid for 400 years of slavery. That's our history. Everybody else, the Italians, the white people over there, they got their history. In Europe, everybody got their history. Everybody got their history. Even the African people everybody. Tyreek over there making fun of Africans. At least they could go back to their history and say, man, this is our history right here, right here, right here, and be proud of it. Man, these people got over on us and we made sure they didn't do it again. We got our just due in this. Black people, we never got our just due. We never got our just due. We don't have a safe haven. We don't have a country. We're not Americans. We're not none of this shit. You're not a fucking Democrat. You're a dumbass. You're not a fucking Republican. You're not an American. I see why black people don't want to vote because I was one of those black people that didn't vote. But I voted because I thought that Trump was going to do the platinum plan like he said, and he should. Us trying to fight back and forth and be like, all them black people that voted for Trump. All right, so the fuck what? Black people voted for Trump. Black people voted for Kamala Harris. What's the fuck? Where the fuck is the reparations? You enslaved my people for years on end. We couldn't get a fucking break. Then after that, you killed us for another 100 more years. Still doing it today, but we can't talk about, we can't act like this. Like, you got to be in a delusional state to actually sit up here and think, man, I'm an American. I'm a black American. I'm actually accounted for. They actually care about me. It's no. And the Democrats don't either. Because all the Democrats want to do is just move the immigrants in. So if you say you black American, basically to a Democrat, you a Caribbean person, you part of the Caribbean people, you part with the African people over there, you part of all of these different people that don't give a fuck about you either. They just group you all in with them. They got more distinction between some gay people than they do with actual, like, this is why black people on the left side that are lefties, they Sagittarius, I identify as a unicorn. I identify as a black unicorn. Sagittarius. Like, you sound dumb. I'm tired of ignorance. America is built on ignorance, slavery, rape, all types of other shit. This is what this country is built off of, bro. Bullshit. Now, instead of fixing it, we got white people being big-headed and just being like, man, you know what? We're not gonna actually fix nothing. We just gonna blame it on them again. Blame it on them because look at what they do. They didn't vote for me. They didn't do this. They didn't do that. It's narcissistic. This is some narcissist shit. Then you got black people like, man, don't blame the white man. You always want to blame the white man. What the fuck are you talking about? Because your life is good? All right, cool. Your great-great-grand's life was terrible. And he worked all day for free and didn't get shit. And if he didn't want to work all day for free, he had to fight for his life and run away for his life to make sure he didn't have to do that. Or she didn't have to do that. Like, are you stupid? You have to be stupid. You have to be a stupid person out here as a black person, sitting here willy-nilly hanging around white people and shit like that, even though you don't got to. Like, those are my friends, and you look stupid. Just because I voted for Trump don't mean I be around white people trying to buddy it up and rub elbows with them. I really could care less about white people. I don't want to be next to them. I don't like none of that shit. I barely want to be next to black people. So you think I want to be next to some white people? I just hate idiot shit, bro. We work for free, so we need to get paid. That don't even fucking sound right. We was working for free. That's how desensitized people are to black people. Black people, anything can happen to us. We get ran over all types of ways. Everybody just keep on moving about their life. Soon as a white person get touched, oh my God, you touched a white person, you touched the Indian person, you touched the Asian, you said something about an African, you said something about a Caribbean. You said black people, we don't get that same type of respect. That's all, man. They run that black man over every day. Who the black man getting ran over today? Man, you talking about, man, what you talking about? Man, they always run black people over. I gotta go. I gotta get to work. Nobody stopping. Nobody give a fuck. Man, they shoot black people in the face every goddamn day for no reason. What you talking about? I don't care. To whereas black people would be laughing about this shit like Charleston White. Like it's to say it's 2025 and black people still never got reparations. Like, honestly, you could sit down and say, man, they paid black people for slavery. Like, you cannot say that. White people done got the Homestead Act and everything since then. If you don't know what the Homestead Act is, go look it up. Like, it's just sickening, man. It's literally sickening that this is the world that we live in. This is the world that we live in. Black people can't get they shit. We can't get ours. You telling me my people work for free? You're not about to just skip past that, bro. You're not about to just skip past that. My lineage work for free. Like, I remember when I first heard about slavery. I went home and asked my people, like, man, this really happened? Yeah, your great-grands was a slave. She got whipped on her back and she had it on her back. I seen it. That's what my grandmother told me. My grandmother told me that she seen her grandmother had scars on her back from slavery. Nigga, I was astonished when I came home from school and learned that. Because in school, they only teach you the bare minimum. But when I got home and I heard my own people say they really went through this shit, nigga, I never gave this up. I always studied into this. I always wanted to learn more and more and see what was going to be justified. We're not going to get our justice. You want to know why? Because they're going to continue to teach. See, they taught me that in school. They learned, they say, okay, well, we got people growing up like Dathan who understand in this country, so we're not going to continue to teach this in school. We're going to call it CRT, critical race theory, and we're not going to no longer teach the kids this in school because we don't actually want a real rebellion. We don't actually want to do right by these people. We don't actually want to pay these people, so we're going to just not even teach it in school. We're going to keep our people in a delusional state. That's American, bro. American, that means you're a delusional person.
The heartbeat of the African diaspora.
Most Americans are delusional.
African Diaspora News Channel app now on Google Play and Apple App Store. Stay informed with authentic and diverse perspectives, breaking news, and cultural insights. Immerse yourself in a community that celebrates unity, resilience, and progress. Experience the vibrancy of the diaspora at your fingertips. Don't miss out. Empower your perspective today. Search African Diaspora News
This is
Channel.
African Diaspora News Channel, man.
Door for segregation to be fashionable again. Now, recently, through his executive order 11246, he decided that on the federal level, the equal opportunity.
Now instead of saying, man, this got something to do with illegal immigrants. If illegal immigrants trying to come in, you need your ID. If the person doesn't show their ID, you can turn them around, yada yada yada, all that type of shit. This is what that probably means, right? But instead of saying that, these motherfuckers is making it seem like they about to start telling black people they can't come here and this and that and third. When in all actuality, that's never stopped. Like I said earlier in the video, I didn't see black people be turned away for wearing jeans at some bar, and they let some white people, they wearing the same goddamn jeans, they walk right into the bar, no problem.
Employment Act that was signed in 1964 by Lyndon B. Johnson, who was the president back then. The Civil Rights Act says that, okay, segregation on the federal level is outlawed, right? Now, since Trump rescinded that, people are saying, oh my gosh, they're going to start segregating again, which means that we might have to drink from a all-black fountain, or can't go into a white restaurant or any other facility that is under a federal contract. Now, I don't know if that would necessarily be the case, but let's pretend that it was. Let's pretend that they brought back the all-black drinking fountains and the all-white drinking fountains and bathrooms and all that. So what? So what? Honestly, do you really want to be drinking and the same?
This is pretending. The Democrats, all they do is pretend. We're gonna pretend walking the street to act like we're changing something. We're gonna pretend and get mad because they said segregation. They said the word. We didn't even look in the context. We just get mad over buzzwords. We heard a buzzword, so now we're mad. We're outraged. Black people, understand that this has nothing to do with our reparations, and that's the only mission that we need to be focused on right now. Martin Luther King and them might have marched in the street back then about civil rights and all that shit. That don't mean that you got to do it right now. That means maybe you need to march on the street about reparations. Let's see how many white people help and get behind you for that. But even the thought of black people getting their just due, getting their money, it's a disgusting thought for these people, because it's like, damn, black people, the one up. I heard Anton Daniels say, oh, this, you're not going to get a one up. What the fuck are you talking about? Black people should get paid for their lineage working for free for 400 years. There shouldn't be no other ways around it. There shouldn't be no other ways around it. But you want to know why we always get kicked to the curb and kicked to the side? Because our people allow this shit. Our people are distracted by somebody saying the word segregation. They said DEI. They said we can't shop here. Okay, so the fuck what? You want to know why that's the only place that you can shop at? Let's talk about why that's the only place you want to shop at. Because black people don't have no fucking money because we were fucking slaves that never got fucking paid for our work. It's that simple. You want to know why it's a bunch of white people with a whole bunch of money? Boatloads of it? And they try to act. That's the first thing white people say. I was poor. I grew up in the hood. I was poor. Bro, nobody gives a fuck. First off, I don't give a fuck that you grew up in the hood. Second off, I don't give a fuck that you're poor. Second off, I don't care that you're struggling. I don't care. This has nothing to do with my people, my lineage. It has nothing to do with me. I don't give a fuck. You being black and you being of lineage of people that was a part of slavery, that's not a gift. It's not a gift. You might feel like it is, you might feel like it's God-given. Okay, cool. But it's not a gift. It's just what happened. You being a white person, a person that's a part of the oppressor, I'm not racist. I don't give a fuck. It's just, this is how it happened. I'm not against you personally, It really has nothing to do with white people. Reparations has nothing to do with white people. The Platinum Plan has nothing to do with white people. At all. It's not really their decision. But it's okay to do my people like this and nobody say nothing. And then, but we got motherfuckers walking around and don't say nothing about Jews. Don't say nothing about these people. Don't say nothing about Asians. What the fuck are y'all talking about? And then they got money being sent to these people, our tax dollars. The migrants just got our tax dollars. The Jews get our tax dollars. Ukraine gets our tax dollars. The Asians in 2021 got our tax dollars under Hunter Biden, Joe Biden, and Kamala Harris. But it's some of our people, it's just like, Their mind is clouded. They don't even understand what's going on. Black people, we only had about what, 60, 70s, 80s, 90s. I'm not even gonna count the 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s, 2000s, 2010, 2020. We only had about 60 years to really figure out what's going on. Before then, we was slaves and we was getting beat the fuck down. That's barely a lifetime. Black people, we're still in that struggle. We never got the reparations for slavery yet. The mission isn't complete. What the fuck are we talking about? If they brought back segregation and said we couldn't go somewhere, I wouldn't be surprised. Because like Ice just said, I seen black people be turned around at a bar with jeans on, and they say, oh, that's the reason we didn't let them in because they got jeans on. We don't like when you wear jeans. But then when some white people came up with the same fucking jeans on, they let them in the fucking bar. What don't y'all understand? Nothing's changed. The reason they don't want to give you reparations is because those are the descendants of the people who were slaving us. Not because they can't do it or they don't got the money. They print the fucking money. They're printing it out. They're doing it all day. When you wake up, when you sleep, all 24/7. So what the fuck are you really thinking? And what's wrong with you? Something wrong with you? Or are you stupid? Just because they put $215,000 into black people bank accounts, like Catwoman was saying, that your life isn't gonna change. Black people, it's gonna be a whole line at the bank. It's gonna be a long ass line at the bank. The bank gonna be shut down. We don't got the money to take it out. This the whites only bank. This the black only bank. I bet you don't be mad at then. This the white only bank because they don't got no fucking reparations because they're part of a lineage that was so disgustingly slaving your people. We gotta put them over here. This is the white only bank. This is the new black only bank that we opened up because y'all got reparations. Y'all got a whole bunch of money. It has a different threshold of how much money they keep in this bank and everything. So y'all go over to this bank. Are you gonna be mad then? No, you're gonna take your black ass over there to that bank, the blacks only bank, and do what you gotta do and get your money because that bank is made for you. Hit different when that bank is made for you and just your people and understands your problems and your situations and what you're going through. But y'all don't think like that because y'all too busy being up a white person ass.
Fountain is there. Let's just pretend that they gonna bring that back because that's the illusion that they have out there is that we gonna be riding back on the back of the bus. I guess it'd have to be a federal bus. I don't know. Or we're gonna have to go to the all black bathroom in federal buildings. So what? So what? See, a lot of these people that are telling you to be mad about that, they're Democrats or Democrat shields, black misleadership. Oh my God, they're going to have you drinking out of a black fountain again.
Lord. Oh, Lord. It's going to trickle down from federal. It's going to migrate from, what this lady said, it's going to migrate from federal and next thing you know, everybody's going to be doing it. So the fuck what? And you know her solution was? We going to spend black dollars somewhere else. There won't be no somewhere else. You want to know why? Because nobody fucking likes black people. And you want to take your dollars and spend them somewhere else? How about you build your own places so we don't have to take our dollars and spend them somewhere else? We can have our own restaurants. We can have our own every motherfucking thing. Banks, hotels, everything. But black people don't think like that. You want to know why? Because black people never had money. And then when black people get some money, they get next to some white people and they say, man, fuck them black people. And they don't help them black people.
So what? We always trying to be up and around them, and they ain't trying to be up and around us. We're also told a long time ago, especially by the Honorable Elijah Muhammad, separate. We have been told that. Marcus Garvey told us, up you mighty nation, accomplish what you will. He didn't say up you mighty nation and include everybody and go drink at everybody's way. He said you, your mighty nation, accomplish what
I'd be surprised. Black people break their neck to be next to some white people that don't like them. Black people will break their neck to be next to some white people that don't like them. Why? Because you were taught. What were you taught in school? You were taught in school Dr. King. You were not taught these people that she's speaking of. And if you brought them up, they kept it at a certain level. Where it's like, all right, don't push it. White people not proud of what they done. White people don't want to fix what they done. They know what they did. They know they gotta repay. and know it's not right. White people are condemning other people for the same shit they did. I was confused in school learning about Hitler and all this other shit when I just learned about slavery. But I just learned about slavery. Okay, what are we going to do about that? Are they doing something about that? And then they start teaching me about Hitler. Well, it's kind of sound like they doing the same shit. And if I look at the picture, they look the same. He don't look no different from any other European I be seeing and walking around this bitch. So I can understand that it's definitely some kids today that's extremely confused. It's adult. I know it is because it's adults today that's older than me that's are extremely confused about American U.S. history. Extremely. It's dangerous to be confused about U.S. history in America as a black person. Then that means you don't know who the fuck you are. You don't know where the fuck you from. You don't know what the fuck is going on. And you'll end up in a situation where these people end up taking you out because you don't understand what's going on and you want to be next to them.
You will. Now, before civil rights came along, we were doing all right. We had our own money. We had our own businesses. We had our own...
She said we was doing all right because she's an older black person. We weren't doing all right freshly removed from slavery without our reparations. We weren't doing all right. They just caked up. White people just caked up trillions of dollars off of us. For years, hundreds of years, we weren't doing all right. We just worked for 400 years and had nothing to show for it. Had to go work again and build ourselves back up. That came up building ourselves back up in the 40s and the 50s, in the 30s. Quietly. Couldn't even really be outside doing it because the KKK might come out and hang you. Leave you in front of the whole community so you see this, try to go and change his life. You want to end up like him? So what are y'all really talking about? We was doing so good in the 60s. No, we wasn't. We not doing good until we get paid for our actual work. It would be a lot different if we got paid for 400 years. I bet you we have a whole lot more. I bet our shit would be looking like the 60s times 100 if we got paid for those years in slavery. They calculated it being $315,000 owed to every single black person because that's how much of our life was taken away from us. That's a lot of life being taken away from us. 400 years of slavery, that's not a small number. 400 years isn't a small number. You're not even going to live how many years? But 400 years, that means generation after generation after generation. Nobody cares. Nobody cares about black people. Nobody really likes black people. And they actually hate to hear it. That's why people come in my life to hear me talk about this shit and they leave. Because they're like, man, fuck, you talking about some real shit. You talking about the goddamn truth. I don't want to live in the truth. White people don't want to live in the truth in America. Some white people know the truth of America and they just try to play to the side and kick it to the side. Oh, it doesn't really matter. We just go, man, stop talking about that. Some white people, they want to live in delusion and act like it's never happened. Don't teach the kids. Don't teach the kids. Some white people mad and continue to be racist. They're going crazy. They older racists like Mitch McConnell. Man, it doesn't matter what happened back then. What are you talking about? So 1776, July 4th doesn't matter? Christopher Columbus, none of it is all fucking fake.
These schools and all that other stuff. Yeah, there was a little Jim Crow and it's still a little Jim.
They separate. Still Jim Crow and shit.
We have been told that. Marcus Garvey told us
blacks to jeans.
You mighty nation, accomplish what you will.
No blacks, he didn't say
no jeans. Up you mighty nation and include everybody and go drink at everybody's. He said your mighty nation, accomplish what you will. Now, before civil rights came along, we were doing all right. We had our own money. We had our own businesses. We had our own men and women and families and schools and all that other stuff. Yeah, there was a little Jim Crow, and it's still a little Jim Crow. I don't know if you heard about those twins that were found unalive in Georgia. That's a whole different story. But back then, we had each other. Now, we struggle to have each other. But those same people, the black misleadership, gonna try to play this up. They trying to bring back segregation. I don't hate the idea of segregation. Why do we hate the idea of that? Do y'all already know or know that we are already segregated? You might say, how so? Well, the Asians, they got their own part of town where they got stores and their communities and this, that, and the other. The Indians, Hispanics, white people, Where's our segregated areas?
Black people
Where's
like to
our
be
all black
deluged.
stores and schools and hospitals and all that other stuff, banks? So we're already segregated, but we late to the party. We think, oh, we ain't nobody unless we mingling with them. So what? If Trump does bring back segregated restaurants and bathrooms, they can't cook like us anyway. I'm just saying. So again, let's stop being emotional.
I'm not rushing to eat no Caucasian people food. I'm not rushing to eat no Caucasian people food, so I don't give a fuck. I'm worried about reparations because I know that the money is the reason why our communities is the way it is. I know the money is the reason why black people are depressed and how they are today and struggling today. I know the money is the reason why. Them same white people are benefiting off of slavery still to this day. If they had a house back then, they sold it for how many ever millions or thousands, hundred thousands of dollars. They are benefiting off of slavery where black people built the fucking house. What's wrong with y'all? Some of y'all just dumb. I know some people look at my shit and get mad and I don't care. You're dumb. I say 90% of Americans are delusional. The other 10% think like me, know what the fuck I'm talking about. The other 90%, which is a lot, is delusional. They don't know none of this. They don't care. They don't even understand how this is detrimental to their life. Black people today don't even understand how slavery is detrimental to their life. Why? Because they went through the American school system. They don't even care anymore. They don't even know anything. They don't fucking know. This is how Americans speak today. Black people and white people. They speak in fucking buzzwords. They speaking about the first thing they see on their fucking phone or some shit. So when these people really open their mouth, please listen and really listen to what the fuck they saying. They're not saying shit. Saying a bunch of dumb shit. Every day. All day. Listen to this dumbass. Shit. Listen to what he say. This is how white people think. They're stupid. They live in delusion. I know it's hard for white people to wrap this around them. Listen, if it wasn't important, why would we learn history in school? If it wasn't important, why would we learn history in school? Why would we learn history in school if history wasn't important? You have to understand how dumb you are that we have older people walking around who are knowledgeable about this. We have books. We have a whole bunch of pictures. We have everything that you need to educate yourself on what has happened, but you refuse to because you feel as though it isn't important. Why would they teach it in school if it isn't important? Why would they teach this shit in school? Walking around with a Black Lives Matter sign saying racism is a pandemic, that doesn't mean anything. It's reparations for Black Americans. That's it. Stop all of the other bullshit. We just want to be accepted. We just want to have some civil rights. All of that is over. It's over. They let you into the college. They let you into all of their little restaurants and sit next to them and don't turn your face up at me because you're a racist. All of that has ended. They try to suppress it now, but this is really how they fucking feel. They still don't fucking like you. Now what? They still don't want you in their bar and restaurant. Now what? They still don't like you. Think you a monkey. Think you stink. Black person. Ugh. They hate your guts. Now what? Are you going to get your money or the fuck what? No, you're not, because you a fucking bitch. You a fucking dumbass. You a fucking gang banging retard. You don't know the fuck going on. You don't know your fucking history because you learned your fucking history from a fucking white person, you idiot.
Hairstyle. Be the same crying today about segregation.
Look.
How is it that the same that on this app 24/7, how they want their black-only spaces.
We bitching on this app. Yeah, he said we bitching on this app. You want your black-only spaces, you're bitching, you're crying. This how they look at you. This how they view you. They crying about a goddamn space. Goddamn it, this is for everybody.
How is that on this app 24/7, how they want their black-only spaces? This is a black-only conversation. That's a black-only hairstyle. Be the same crying today about segregation. It's like you're getting what
that really do something for them. This is a black-only space. This is this is a black-only hairstyle. If somebody say this is a white-only hairstyle, this is a white-only space, I don't give a fuck. This is a white-only space. This is all right. Well, eat a dick. I don't give a damn. I ain't want to be in there with y'all anyways. Stank, musty, wet dog smelling motherfucker. Oh my God, why would you say that? You're racist. You're crazy. I fucking am. Now what? But you have to lie and act like you want to be next to those people, and you gotta lie and make yourself feel like these people care about you. Guess what? This is how they really feel. Stupid motherfucker.
How is it that the same that on this app 24/7, how they want their black-only spaces? This is a black-only conversation. That's a black-only hairstyle. Be the same crying today about segregation. It's like you're getting what you're asking for. Some of you just can't be happy. It's like, we want our black-only spaces with our black-only communities, and you stay away from our black kings and queens.
You see how stupid y'all sound? We want our black-only spaces. We want our... You see how stupid you Democrats sound? To the words, they can mock us and use y'all. When black people, actual black Americans, stand up and say something that's worth something, which would be reparations, that's all we talk about. It's like, oh man, we could just skip over that and we could talk about black people saying buzzwords, talking about how they want their own black spaces and they want DEI and all this other shit. We could just talk about the distraction. So white people don't have to focus on nothing of no importance. They could talk about everything that he said was a distraction. It didn't even mean anything. It didn't even fucking mean nothing. Everything this white man just said, it don't even mean nothing. He just saying a whole bunch of distractions. None of that shit is a positive thing for black people or means anything for black people. Is nothingness. Because the distraction is put out there to keep everybody in a delusional state. It keeps people like Anton sitting here acting like he's really trying to figure this out. Like it keeps everybody in the delusional state of talking about nothingness. And then it keeps black people held back because we never got to talk about reparations. Damn, doggone it. And that's exactly how you Republicans are starting to see this is what y'all want. Y'all throw the distraction out there for bait, and then y'all got motherfuckers like Jasmine Crockett hopping on the line. Goddamn, you just reel her in. Real Jasmine Crockett in the black community and get them distracted. They talking about segregation. They don't even got no fucking reparations. So you gotta understand how stupid you sound. Why would you think some people want you next to them and they never paid you for working? These people never paid us for working. That's disrespectful. You might as well spit on us. Some of y'all would rather get spit on than not get paid for work. Would you rather get paid for work, not get paid for, would you rather not get paid for working for all of your life, or would you rather be spit on? A lot of y'all would say, I would rather be spit on. And if you only had those two choices, that's black people choices. That's literally what happened to black people. Do you think these people got the nerve to, do you got the nerve to tell these people, respect us? Respect what? We didn't pay you, then we spat on you. Now you're crying because you want to be next to us? So now these white people can come out and speak like this. And black people just be confused. Like, what am I supposed to say? You're supposed to say you want your fucking money. This is not a thing where it's like, man, I don't want to sound broke, so I'm not going to talk about reparations. That don't got nothing to do with it, bro. It's literally a respect factor. This is why white people have no respect for black people, because they never paid us for working for free for 100 years.
How is it that the same that on this app 24/7, how they want their black-only spaces? This is a black-only conversation. That's a black-only hairstyle. Be the same crying today about segregation. It's like you're getting what you're asking for. Some of you just can't be happy. It's like, we want our black-only spaces with our black-only communities, and you stay away from our black kings and queens. You ain't got the nerve to be on here crying about segregation. Which me personally, I don't give a. If you want a black-only space, go. If you want a white-only space, go. Mexican, China, whatever, go. But leave us normal functioning people alone. But I'll be if you on here crying.
You are far from normal and functioning. You are far from normal and functioning, buddy. You aren't normal and functioning. You are an American. You are delusional. That man just said, all right, the black only spaces, the white only spaces, okay. But leave us normal functioning. What the fuck is a normal functioning? What the fuck are you talking about? You don't even fucking know what the fuck you're talking about. So what normal and function are you talking about? You are actually an idiot. You're actually delusional. That is the product of an American school system. Don't know what the fuck he talking about. Talking about a fucking distraction with all his heart and might. You know what these white people not talk about? You want to know what these black Democrats and Republicans not talking about? Reparations. They talking about this. They talking about a fucking distraction. We all saying we don't want to be next to each other. We all saying we don't give a fuck about being next to white people. White people saying we don't want to be next to y'all ass either. So what the fuck are we talking about? We're not talking about nothing. And you know what we really not talking about? We really not talking about reparations now. Now we're really not talking about reparations. That's exactly where they wanted at. This was bait for black Democrats like Jasmine Crockett and dumbass black people. Like motherfuckers like Anton Daniels to get up here and act like, oh, let me react to this and actually have something to say. He's not saying anything. It's a lot of people that speak today. It's a small talk type of thing. This is social media. So small talk wins on social media. What color's your hair? What are you wearing? That's why I don't show my face. I get straight to business. I'm talking that shit. You don't need to worry about what I'm doing and all this other shit because you're going to get distracted. Straight to business. They don't like that. Nobody likes this. Is small talk. This is a small talk arena, social media, where we sit up and talk about dumb shit all day. What's trending? Nobody wants to get on this bitch and actually have sense. Get justice. Unless it's for like some fucking rapper dude or some shit. Nobody cares. People want to talk about dumb shit all day on this bitch. Listen to him. Listen to him. He sounds so stupid just because he not talking about nothing. Black people not wanting to be around white people, it's been like that since forever. Y'all thinking y'all gonna change it because you're cheesy, you're corny, you're walking in the street with your arms intertwined? It's the same old shit from back then, and it hasn't changed a fucking thing. It's cheesy, it's corny, it's dumb, it's retarded. And now he could get up here and make fun of it, and Anton Daniels could agree with him because black people and white people, they don't want to be next to each other. They don't like each other. I'm sorry if I just burst y'all bubble. I'm sorry if it's an interracial couple watching this like, no, we do like each other. I'm sorry. It's the truth. This is the truth. This is the real good, uncomfortable truth.
Same that on this app 24/7, how they want their black-only spaces. This is a black-only conversation. That's a black-only hairstyle. Be the same crying today about segregation. It's like you're getting what you're asking for. Some of you just can't be happy. It's like, we want our black-only spaces with our black-only communities, and you stay away from our black kings and queens. You ain't got the nerve to be on here crying about segregation. Which me personally, I don't give a. If you want a black-only space, go. If you want a white-only space, go, man.
No, white man, do you know why it's like that? It's the same reason why you got people like Kamala Harris coming out saying, I want a ceasefire, but I'm still going to work with the Jews. All right, you're still going to work with the Jews, but you want a Hamas ceasefire with the people that are attacking. America is a big-ass contradiction, cesspool. We got a bunch of delusion. I told y'all 90% of Americans are delusional. 90% of Americans don't know what happened in America. They don't know what happened. They don't care about what happened. And they most likely just got here. They don't give a fuck about black people. We didn't get kicked to the curb so many times and everything. You start talking about the shit I'm talking about right now, motherfuckers looking at you crazy. When you're really supposed to be looking at them crazy. People people feel like, oh, you said slavery, Jim Crow, that's so many 60s. What? No, there's people still walking around that done been through this shit and lived through this shit, then seen the effects of this shit, and they still like, man, don't talk about that shit. Because it's that's called delusion. Let's look up the word delusion and tell me this is not white Americans who feel as though black people should get reparations, and black people that is oblivious to reparations and how them working, their family and lineage working for free for 400 years has affected them greatly. Let's look up the word delusion and tell me this is not 90% of America. And tell me this. I need to go be next to some fucking Americans. I don't need to be next to no damn dumbass Americans. I need to get the fuck away from them because they're delusional. It's rare that you find some black people that actually know how this affected a community. How their people working for 400 years for free has affected their community. The meaning of delusional. I want to touch up my vocabulary. Let's listen to this white lady explain why white Americans have a delusional disorder. White people have delusional disorder in America. Black people that think reparations can never happen have a delusional disorder in America. They do. They're literally retarded.
Lena Haji, licensed clinical psychologist. For Misdiagnosis Monday today, I wanted to talk about a disorder that is part of the schizophrenia spectrum. It's very interesting. This is delusional disorder. So what is a delusion? A delusion is a fixed, false.
All right, now she about to go. I can already tell she about to go in. Now let me ask this to you before we watch this video and react to this video. Do you think black people should get paid for working for free for 100 years, then getting their ass beat for another 100 and just barely making it out in 1965? Because I feel like we still was getting our ass beat and kicked and all types of police brutality and all types of stuff like Sonya Massey, Tamir Rice. The list goes on and on and on. It's so sad it's that many names. We can keep on going on and on and on. But honestly, listen. Do you think black people should get paid for 400 years of slavery? No matter how long ago it was and all of that other shit. If your answer is no, I want you to listen to this. This is you. You're stupid.
Hi, this is Dr. Lena Haji, licensed clinical psychologist. For Misdiagnosis Monday today, I wanted to talk about a disorder that is part of the schizophrenia spectrum. It's very interesting. This is delusional disorder. So what is a delusion? A delusion is a fixed, false belief. A pervasive...
What's white people fix false belief? Christopher Columbus discovered America. We have fixed false beliefs that we stand by in America, that people die over. We have fixed false beliefs being taught in our school, and nobody is like, oh, it's all right. Why are you getting so up in arms? Why are you acting like this? We can have fixed false beliefs. We're white.
Hi, this is Dr. Lena Haji, licensed clinical psychologist. For Misdiagnosis Monday today, I wanted to talk about a disorder that is part of the schizophrenia spectrum. It's very interesting. This is delusional disorder. So what is a delusion? A delusion is a fixed, false belief. A pervasive pattern of thinking that something is true when it is not. We used to break up delusions into bizarre and non-bizarre. A bizarre delusion would be something that's implausible, cannot happen in reality. So something like, I believe aliens have put a microchip in my head, or that my body is not filled with blood, it's filled with ants. These are actual examples I've worked with. Whereas a non-bizarre delusion would be something that might be plausible, like somebody is poisoning my food, or people are out to get me. So although those might not be happening, they are still plausible. Now, in the DSM-5-TR, delusional disorders are broken up into subtypes. There is erotomanic.
But notice she didn't use Christopher Columbus discovered America. White people feel as though nothing happened to black people. It's okay. That's delusional. That's called delusional. I'm not even gonna lie to you. I'm tired of white people and I'm tired of stupid black people. Y'all are delusional. And the black stupid people that sit up there like the Black Caucus and all this other shit, motherfuckers that's denying reparations and stopping reparations, y'all are delusional and y'all are sick, twisted people, and I know y'all are going to hell. You might not believe in hell, you might be an atheist and all that shit. I don't care. I don't give a fuck. If you don't believe, why do you care so much? Let me sleep well at night and sleep good at night and know that you're going to hell. That warms my heart. That you about to burn in a lake of fire just because you an idiot.
Feel about
All black people talk about is going to prison, stupid ass gang life, stupid ass dumb shit. That's the only thing black people talk about. Black Americans is dumb. Any black American that perpetuate gang culture and can perpetuate stupid shit and all this goofy shit, y'all dumb. Why the fuck would I be afraid of a motherfucker saying I can't go in somewhere? I don't give a fuck. That mean I don't want to be in that bitch. I'm about to fight my way into somewhere where somebody don't want to fucking be, where they don't want me to fucking be at. I don't give a fuck. I'm gonna make my own shit. Tired of dumb black people and dumb white people. Most of them are already dumb because they don't even fucking believe. Imagine a white person. A white person. When I was proud of Trump when I seen the platinum plan. Let me tell y'all why I was proud of Trump when I seen the platinum plan. I was proud of Trump when I seen the platinum plan because I seen a white person actually, and this shows that they understand what happened. That showed me that they understand what actually happened. These people so quick to blame our people, so quick to say that we this and that and the third, but you literally enslaved us, bro. People would be looked at crazy if we did the things that y'all was doing to us back then. And some of y'all still doing it because it's just in your blood.
Right? Think about this. The best and greatest country in the world, the best country that ever existed, liberty, freedom, prosperity, on and on and on. But look at you. It's the land of milk and honey, but everyone is always trying to find a side hustle. Everyone is endlessly talking about being on their grind. You know, motivational speakers are a $1 billion industry. Life coaches, self-help books. Social media is full of inspirational quotes, so-called, on and on, for supposedly people who are living in the best country in the world. While you look like, to everyone else, you look like you're constantly on the verge of a nervous breakdown. You look like you're barely holding it together. Like you need someone to pump you up just to help you get out of bed in the morning. How great can it really be? Okay, I mean, let's do an evaluation of reality, just for a second, you know? Let's look at the situation in America objectively. Maybe some of the elements that are usually overlooked in America, or they're only overlooked in isolation. But let's look at it as a whole. Let's look at it as an organic whole. First of all, roughly half of all of the current working age population in America today, the adult population, between 40 to 50% of the adults who are in America today, who are, you know, in the leading positions in America, whether it's in business or in government or what have you, about half of the adult population in America grew up with divorced parents, means single mothers mostly. Okay, well, we're all aware of the emotional and the developmental issues that can affect kids when they're growing up in broken homes, homes without fathers, and so on. There is trauma from that, no doubt. No matter how great that mother is, no matter how great that father may be, a child without two parents who are actively involved in bringing that child up, that child has a much harder time than a child who has both parents. That's a statistical fact.
We're gonna skip past that because that don't mean nothing to black women. So black women not gonna sacrifice to help a relationship to make sure their kids could have a father in the home. So we're gonna skip past that, bro.
In their life, they'll say, wow, it was just like a movie, without fail, you know? Because media is literally their frame of reference. Media, popular media, not actual experience. Now combine that with the real trauma issues that they have from growing up and from the violence and the insecurity of their society where they live. They're not processing any of that. They're not processing anything that they've been through.
I told y'all, man, black people, we desensitized to what has happened to us, what's going on, and everything. It's just a whole bunch of delusion. You see black people more and more in a delusional state, like white people, like harken down into that delusional state of wanting to be an American, wanting to be accepted. They're not going to accept you. They're never going to accept you. They don't want to accept you. They're trying to give you a hint like, man, we don't got to really accept you. We'll probably pay you reparations, but that don't mean we got to accept you. They kind of saying, like, if we pay you the reparations, that, all right, can we stop accepting you now? Can we stop acting like we like you? I'm trying to tell y'all.
It causes anxiety, it causes depression, it causes volatility, it impairs their social skills, their communication skills, their empathy, their ability to even interact with people face to face properly.
I want a video that's going, before we, I want a video to react to that really, like, breaks it down. Because it's a bunch of them. I seen them. I can't find them right now. I know I'm supposed to have them ready. One day I'm going to have all the videos ready. I don't got to look for them. So they try to make it seem like, oh man, black people sold black people into slavery, and it, man, nah, man. So that's black, that's white, that's how cruel white people is. White people so cruel. They say, man, some black people sold y'all into slavery. Like, bro, all right, so why did you pay for people? Oh, man, what? What are you talking about? And then it's crazy because black people that were slaves in America, we were slaves in Africa too. So they'll go, just think about how crazy white people is, man. They'll go all the way back to when they went and got us or whatever in Africa. That's what they claim, right? And they'll say, oh man, that's, you know, some black people sold you into slavery, man. So it doesn't really fucking matter who you are and what happened in America and us starting America. That should show you that right there. I just decoded that. Them saying some black people sold us into slavery and them trying to use that to justify slavery is you showing that you're not a real American. That means 1776, Declaration of Independence, all that other shit, that wasn't for black people. So they never really consider us an American. They never really consider us a person or none of that shit. Because we were still slaves after 1776 situation. Telling y'all, bro, black people, we was never really looked at as people. It's obvious. We was never really looked at as people. It'll bring a tear to your eye, my nigga. If you was a real person, my nigga, with real feelings and real emotions, you know, let alone a black person, just anybody, and you see the story of black Americans, it'll bring a tear to your eye.
How can slavery still be affecting black people today? Popular rapper goes by the name of Cameron says in one of his songs, back in the days we were slaves, whips and chains, it's tradition. All I've got, whips and chains. He's got whips and chains, meaning cars and jewelry, but unfortunately Cameron's success story is a far cry from many black American males whose experience is more aligned with the whips and chains of old. The whips of a police baton, the chains of mass incarceration. At the root of it all, the same feeling of low self-worth the slaves had. That's how you get such high rates of crime and violence in the black community. There's no value for life. If you don't believe me, ask our success story Cameron, shot 3 times during a botched car robbery back in '05. It's conditioning, ladies and gentlemen. You'll hear that word a lot on this channel. To put it all in perspective, you have to look at American slavery in its totality. Look at the cruelness. The picture used for this channel is of a runaway slave believed to be named Gordon. The horrific scars on this man's back are so painful to look at, one can only imagine how much he suffered for them to get there. It is said the ordeal left him bedridden for months. He was able to eventually escape to the North during the Civil War, and when asked, "Gordon, why were you beaten so viciously?" the reason was so trivial he couldn't even remember. These scars are emblematic of the same suffering and bewilderment Black people have been dealing with for generations. So now we have a better idea of the cruelty of slavery. Let's look at the duration. 250 years. That's right, 2.5 centuries. It's about 100 years longer than Blacks have been so-called free in this country. And I say so-called because in 1865, when the slaves were liberated, many were so uneducated and desperate, they went right back to the plantation as sharecroppers, which means a slave who gets to keep some of his cotton. And let's not forget to mention the following 100 years, they'd have to contend with the KKK that wanted their property back. Property, of course, meaning Black people. And you had to adhere to Jim Crow laws, which famously stated whites and Blacks will be separate but equal, which if written honestly would have said whites and Blacks will be separate but equal, but really just separate. This is the Black American experience, people. Nobody in their right mind would want to trade shoes. Half of the country wants to enslave you, the other half pities you, but doesn't want you living next door. Well, yeah, but Jim Crow ended back in the 1950s. How do you explain Black ineptitude now? Well, if you've been listening, you would know. Conditioning. You see, now it's less about what America's doing. It's about what they're not doing, or better yet, what they did. D-I-D. The damage is done. Apparently, when people are treated like slaves and second-class citizens for 350 years, surprise, surprise, they start behaving like slaves and second-class citizens.
Man, let me read this.
Apparently,
Chris Rock said, and I quote, "We treat racism in this country like it's a style that America went through, like flared legs and lava lamps. Oh, that's crazy. That crazy thing we did. Or that crazy thing we did. We were hanging Black people. We treat it like a fad instead of a disease that eradicates millions of people. That lets them off the hook. So treating it like it was just a fad, it was just a style, it was just something that we are over now, it gives them an ability to not have, it gives them the ability to not take responsibility for what they have done. So they don't have to take responsibility for making people work for free for hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of years. And then saying, man, y'all go fend for yourselves. And not only just making them work for free, we weren't able to learn anything in these people language. Somehow we speak these people language so fluently now. But we weren't able to learn anything. We weren't able to do none of that shit, man. We weren't able to do nothing. So how could you really fault a Black person for being a dumbass today, man? How could you really fault a Black person for really not knowing shit? We come from not knowing shit. We come from literally fighting to have to learn something. And they never paid us. They never paid us. Isn't that crazy? That's not crazy. That's not crazy, man. That's so long ago. And what hip hop did, I see why they pushed hip hop and rap so hard in the 90s. The reason they pushed hip hop and rap so hard in the 90s is because they found out we can use this distraction and we can make this their culture. They made that shit our culture. That was just some shit we did. We was already doing, beating on drums and beating on the table and making beats and making songs and all that shit. We was already doing that. We was already doing that, singing songs and shit. We was already doing that, bro. Just because these people came and monetized it and all that shit, that don't mean nothing. That's not us. That's not a fucking rap song and rap lyric. That's not Black culture. I swear, man, a lot of y'all idiots, man.
When people are treated like slaves and second-class citizens for 350 years, surprise, surprise, they start behaving like slaves and second-class citizens. Email me at theReparationsChannel@gmail.com. That's theReparationsChannel@gmail.com.
All right, now y'all want to go to jail. We went from slavery to Jim Crow. Now y'all niggas want to kill each other and go to jail. Niggas are dumb. And I don't want to be around no nigga that perpetuate gang culture and all this
Fathers
stupid
have
goofy
left.
shit. Niggas are retarded. I know it's hard for these motherfuckers to really believe when you walk outside and you see black people acting all normal and shit and living their little life and shit, that slavery has literally affected us. Affected us. Got motherfuckers talking some I abandoned the black culture. Sorry, you can't do that if you're fucking black, you idiot. This is the type of shit they perpetuate and they big up. This the shit that's getting the attraction and the views. Leaving black people in the dust and not thinking like a black person. Man, shut up. You sound just like a black person. You sound like Judas. Yeah, you're a black person, all right. You're Judas. Quick to sell your people out. Quick to give your people up. He's over here. He the one that said black people should get reparations. Him. Yeah, him's the ones. Yeah, him.
Big game this.
Talking about some white people are pissed and shocked that black people accepted segregation over them. What the fuck we supposed to go do? Oh, you want us to march in the street again? Oh, you want us to start crying and say, "Oh Lord"? Like, no, we're done with that, my nigga. You know about to keep on doing all this shit, bro. We got to get our reparations the swift way. If we're gonna talk, it's gonna be about reparations. It's not gonna be about a whole bunch of dumb shit, bro. Black people, we have to stop talking about dumb shit. We have to stop having small talks about dumb shit. Doing what Jasmine Crockett is trying to have us do. Bullshit. We gotta stop. Got to. It's goofy. Man, I'm gone, man. I'm out of here, man.